You've been led to believe that manifesting the life of your dreams is difficult, that it requires complicated rituals, endless visualizations, perfect affirmations, and constant effort to raise your vibration. But what if I told you that quantum manifestation is actually surprisingly simple? So simple, in fact, that almost no one actually does it right. Right now, you live within a quantum field, an infinite field of possibilities, a field that responds not to your effort, but to your alignment. Yet most people approach manifestation as if it were a war. They try to crush their current reality with willpower. They repeat affirmations they don't believe in, visualize outcomes they deeply doubt, and force themselves to think positive while their bodies are still stuck in fear, scarcity, and stress. And this is where everything breaks down. Because in the quantum world, forcing creates friction. Let's strip it all down and make it beautifully simple. Quantum manifestation isn't about getting what you want. It's about collapsing that version of reality in which you already have it. It's not about changing the external world first. It's about becoming the internal signal that draws that world to you. The quantum field contains every possibility: success and failure, abundance and lack, love and loneliness, health and struggle. Everything already exists as waves of probability. But here's the crucial point. The wave doesn't collapse into your lived reality until it encounters a coherent observer. And that observer is you, your attention, your focus, your emotion. They sculpt reality. The problem? Most people are trapped in a loop. They observe from fear, focus on what's missing, vibrate at the frequency of lack while trying to attract abundance. In quantum language, this is noise, not signal. You've been taught to chase what you want. But the true art of manifestation is becoming the version of yourself that no longer needs to chase. It's the version of yourself that remembers, I am already intertwined with the life I desire. The field is waiting for my signal. My job is not to push harder, but to become clearer. So why does almost no one do it? Because simplicity disarms. Because letting go seems unnatural. Because stopping chasing feels like giving up. But here's the paradox that almost no one says out loud. The moment you stop desperately needing it, the field can finally deliver it to you. Think of a time when something came to you effortlessly. You met the right person by chance. An opportunity arose you weren't looking for. You had a brilliant idea just when you'd stopped trying. What's the common thread? You weren't squeezing, you weren't forcing, you were open, aligned, available. That's quantum manifestation in action. The quantum field isn't interested in your words. It reads your energy. You can say, I'm rich 1,000 times. But if your body is still transmitting fear, if your heart is contracted by scarcity, if your nervous system is addicted to struggle, the field will send that same chaos back to you. Not because it's cruel, but because it's precise. And so here's the radical shift. Quantum manifestation begins when you stop focusing on getting and start focusing on being. You become the signal. You embody the vibration. You let your state guide you, not the effort. But this raises a fundamental question. What does the quantum field really respond to? Just thoughts, emotions, beliefs, actions? And how do you align these levels without sending contradictory messages? This is where many teachings fall apart. They focus on a single piece, often thoughts, and ignore the underlying coherence of the system. They tell you to think positively without addressing what your body is holding back. They tell you to visualize without releasing subconscious sabotage. They tell you to affirm success while your nervous system is still on high alert for failure. But the quantum mind hears the entire signal, integrated, embodied. Imagine the quantum field as a cosmic translator. When thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned, the message is clear, the vibration is stable, and the field responds more quickly. But when you think one thing, feel another, and do something unrelated, the message gets confused. The field doesn't reflect clarity, it reflects chaos. Here comes a key concept. The observer isn't just the conscious mind. The observer is also your subconscious. This means that even if you consciously desire abundance, if there's a survival, scarcity, or fear program underlying it, the field perceives that hidden signal. And that signal almost always wins until you make it coherent. And this is why manifesting with the mind alone often fails. Without the emotional component, without the lived sensation of alignment, the signal arrives fragmented. You can't just tell the field what you want. You have to become the vibrational correspondence of what you want. Let's take a concrete example. You want to express love, you can write affirmations, create vision boards, visualize your ideal partner. But if deep down you harbor wounds of unworthiness, if your nervous system is on high alert for rejection, if your heart is armored and afraid to open up, your field senses that tension. It perceives the contradiction, and what you receive back is more anticipation, more more pursuit. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because it reflects you. So the shift is about entering coherence, feeling whole now, practicing the emotions of what you desire before it arrives, embodying the state of I already have it, so that the field can collapse that timeline into form. First, you become frequency, then the form arrives. Now I invite you to a simple yet powerful practice. Take a deep breath. Notice how your body feels as you listen. Notice where you're holding tension. Notice the stories playing in the background. And just for a moment, soften, loosen your grip, let go of the need to fix everything right away. Feel what it feels like to be okay here right now without anything having to change. This is where your power begins. Why does almost no one actually do this? Why, with all the books, courses, and videos, do so many people get stuck? The answer is simple and uncomfortable. Because the mind is addicted to control. We've been raised to believe that effort equals value, effort equals merit. So we keep pushing for results, and that same effort tells the field, I don't trust you. Many visualize abundance, but anxiously check their accounts every hour. They write about love, but obsess over messages and apps. They say health, but scan their bodies for symptoms. Thus, they radiate distrust. They assert one thing, but convey the opposite. This is why so many people are exhausted. They use all the techniques, but they do them out of hypervigilance, out of scarcity, out of lack. And so they manifest more waiting, more effort, more pursuit. Because energetically, they are not in the I already have mode. They're in the I'm trying to get mode. And now the most powerful truth. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. You are a radio. If you want jazz, you can't demand jazz while staying tuned to heavy metal. You have to turn the dial. You have to become aware of the current frequency. Not just what you think, but how you feel, how you breathe under stress. What stories are playing on repeat. Change begins when you interrupt the pattern, not with brute force, but with embodied micro practices. A breath in the midst of anxiety, a hand on the heart in doubt, a question that breaks the autopilot. What would the version of me that already has this do now? And then a small gesture from that place. Consistency is when thoughts, emotions, and actions all move in the same direction. When you stop saying one thing, feeling another, and doing a third. And when you're consistent, even for just a few minutes, you create attraction. Reality begins to bend towards you. Let's make it practical. If you want abundance, practice I have enough with generosity. Attention, time, energy, not just money. If you want love, practice vulnerability. Small, courageous gestures, an open heart, without begging for validation. If you want health, practice presence. Nourish, move, and rest your body with respect, not as punishment. And a key point that many misunderstand, manifesting doesn't mean feeling good all the time. It means feeling real and knowing how to return to alignment when you falter. Embracing emotions without ignoring them. holding space for fear without letting it drive your car. Power isn't about never falling. It's how you come back. So now breathe and ask yourself, what timeline am I tuned into today? Fear or trust? Lack or abundance? Expectation or arrival? Without judgment, just observation. Because the moment you observe, you create choice. And choice is the gateway to coherence. From here on out, keep it simple. Every morning before the phone, what frequency should I choose today? Throughout the day, your body signals you when you're out of alignment. Notice, breathe, recalibrate. In the evening, review the day with curiosity, not guilt. Gratitude stabilizes your frequency. And remember, community matters. We co-regulate with those around us. If you nourish yourself with voices and spaces that practice coherence, your system learns that vibration. Take care of your environment. Let the outside become an ally of the inside. Because the most beautiful part is this: the quantum field is not separate from you. You are intertwined with it. You are the wave. You are the observer and the observed. When you shift frequency, you're not just asking life to meet you. You are becoming the life you've been seeking. And now let's close with a gesture that makes everything real. In the comments, write one word that represents the energy you choose to embody this week. Trust, lightness, power, flow. That word is your signal. If this video sparked something in you, even just a spark, subscribe. This isn't just a channel. It's a living space for those who are ready to stop chasing and start aligning. Let's keep tuning in together.